Welcome back, everybody, to another week of Love and Action Deconstruction Junction. You know it's Flo and Praolo. We are so happy
Well,
to be with
Priolo.
you. Flo and Praolo, man, here for another week of bringing light to the dark spaces of some of our worlds. Of course, I'm Dr. Flo, online coach and mentor. I help bold dreamers follow their bliss by using their time, talent, and treasure for good in the world. And all the ways I can encourage, equip, and empower you. I would love to. We're joined behind the scenes by wonderful Angie, who is president of my super fan club. And also, we've got Tara Praolo Studio, our resident black, multiracial, multi-passionate, amazing rock star, local community leader, and of course, love and action leader. What did I leave off about your awesome?
I don't know if you said I'm a musician, but I am. Most days. Most days. And I talk about the issue nobody wants to talk
Poppy in
about.
the other room says every day.
Every day. Every day. Happy Tuesday.
Poppy
Every day.
Suze every day. And yeah, and she does talk about the ish that people don't want to talk about. And every day Poppy Water says, and it can get spicy and sticky. And it can get, what was the word we used before we came in here today? We can be,
Particular? No. We can
no, we
be
decided that we could be a certain way towards one another, that in collaboration. Oh,
a
uh,
pill.
hell.
A peel.
Uh, hell.
Pill.
Yes.
Pill.
Poppy Water saying off camera that don't pills cure illness. Pills do cure illness.
Or do they create them? We'll never know.
We'll never know. Welcome y'all to Love It Action TV and podcast. And what we do is deconstruct these larger ideas and thoughts and try to break them down into ways that we can understand. And then by deconstructing our religious habits, our spiritual habits, our communal habits, our political habits, our lived experiences, maybe we can teach each other how to fly. Tara's up with the first slide this week. Let's see what this is all about.
You can tell a lot about how a person views you and how much they respect you by how they disagree with you. Because when a person is actually trying to resolve an issue and continue the relationship they have with you, their first instinct won't be to disrespect you or reprimand you as if they're your parent. And if you notice a pattern of this, that's a major red flag. Recognize when you're in a friendship or any other type of relationship with a person who actively benefits from your lack of boundaries or lack of assertiveness. You can tell a lot about how a person views you and how much they respect you by how they disagree with you. Because when a person is actually trying to resolve an issue and continue the relationship they have with you, their first instinct won't be to disrespect you or reprimand you as if they're your parent. And if you notice a pattern of this, that's a major red flag. Recognize when you're in a friendship or any other type of relationship with a person who actively benefits from your lack of boundaries or lack of assertiveness.
Yay. I brought this mostly because there well, for two reasons. Because there are disagreements happening actively in the personal professional life in Lexington, North Carolina, but also because we do, and we were talking about this earlier today too, and we brought it last week, which is that we don't have to be friends, and there are going to be disagreements. There, like in any kind of liberatory work, there will be disagreements on how we get to the liberation, right? And so I just really like that there the reminder of like we can disagree in ways that are not disrespectful to each other to further the movement, right? What we cannot do is what a lot of people do when they are feeling threatened or when they're feeling inferior or when they're feeling fear is the reprimanding and you should say it this way, right? You like, or you can't talk like that, or if you do this you're gonna da 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 da. Like those are not productive ways of disagreeing. Those are not productive ways of making change, So I just liked that it was short and sweet and easy to remember as well.
I feel called to the carpet because I am one of these people, and I'm working to heal this. That when I am in disagreement, I'm big on call out to call in culture, and sometimes that's not the best medicine for the moment.
Yeah.
Or sometimes people feel extremely disrespected by being like called out, and I'm trying to learn as we navigate to the local politics part of all of this. I'm trying to navigate people like this in the space when I'm simply being myself, no different than Bar Rescue. If you watch the show, I've been watching that on YouTube, or um, what what's the chef guy?
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, what he does. When you come into a situation as a Gordon Ramsay type and you say like, "Yo, I see the work, I applaud the work, and we do applaud this work." Justice for Charles McNair. It's running on the bottom of the screen. It's kind of like a you're positioned with these people, but I have no relationship or no bridge to these individuals. And when I say that that's bullshit, it's interpreted as disrespect. And I'm trying to figure
Right.
out where the conversation is of disagreement and disrespect, or the
Well, and
perception.
oftentimes their responses are, this is where we get into the conversation about what is tone policing and what is not tone policing. And also, again, like what is reprimanding? Like, oh, well, how, like, mm, like, I don't particularly find you, maybe it's just because I've been around you a long time, but I don't necessarily find you to be like a parental reprimand type in this local political situation, like the lady was talking about. Um, I do find you to be honest, and lots of people do not like honesty. And I think that is
Do
the
not like, there's two things they don't like, I'm finding. They don't like honesty and they don't like integrity. And
yeah.
we were talking about earlier, like integrity is always going to require you to go a bit. You're going to be taking the scenic route with integrity, and it's important to know that. And I think that honesty and integrity really, really causes people to have to either step their game up or stand in the light and be seen as they are. The reason why I brought up local politics tonight, y'all, is because for those of you tracking the Love and Truth Project that I recently started here in town to discover where the love is here in town and where the truth is, I'm finding that there is a need to engage the local politics and also the local feelings. Uh, uh, and the, and so as a result, I've asked for access to people in this photo. There are prominent white leaders and black leaders in the photo. They're working for Justice for Charles McNair. We applaud their projects. I don't know why I can't bring my concerns or bridge the concerns of the community with these men, as well as this white lady called Wanda. She's an amazing ability to get people into place. And I'm trying to figure out why we don't all have open access to our leaders. They are working towards releasing Charles, for which I am a champion as well. I don't even need to be in these photos. For the record, y'all, I don't want to be in the photos with any of these people. However, it would be important to see how I can assist in the community, and also where there are people in the community that need assistance. And I've called this out in the last 24 hours or so. There's a lot of people in the community. Some of them look like me, some of them do not look like me, who want to have these photo opportunities. They're at the meetings. See me at the meetings. I shook the hands. I got the deal. Well, this is one of 70 people that need to be free, up for clemency in the state of North Carolina. And then behind them are 70,000 other black people and brown people and impoverished white people like me who also need help and support. And we need that same kind of booty clapping. And we see it in pieces. I don't know. She said personally that her goal, she may never talk to us again after these exposés and things that we're doing, but she said that she wants 1,000 followers on the Facebook page. I hope that the men in this photo help her to get that. We will help her to get that, but I hope that everyone pictured will also help to get that. And in fact, now that we have the photo, we're able to send over the photo and say, oh, you were there. You must really like working to champion the needs of black and brown people, because I see you caring at this level, and I am not accused of any crime. Therefore, my help should be comparable. And I think that all good citizens and people who want to put good into the world and contribute to their communities should be able to ask for a certain standard of care. And it doesn't cost anything. They keep acting like it's a barrier. This that you're seeing on the screen is part of the nonprofit industrial complex. We want to know how the money is being routed through this, because this got people in place. And it is a great cause. However, we want meetings as well. We want to be heard as well. We want to be taken seriously as well. And there's no amount of tone policing or reprimand energy or whatever else image, or me being a scary goon in the community seeking to snatch people up in the night. Like, none of that is true. None of that is true. There's certain people that you want in the room, and they are pictured here. And there's certain people that you don't want into the room, for various reasons. And we're going to need to get clear about what those reasons are, because we have things to build inside of the Charles McNair Project and very much so outside.
Yeah, I would just tack on. I saw this video the other day, and I wish I could find it again because I don't even know what platform I saw it on. But I saw this video that was talking about, essentially we're all radicalized by one thing throughout our lives, right? Like we have a cause that we are radicalized into, and we fight for that cause for the rest of our lives. And in this video, the person was saying essentially that, like, a lot of people have a misunderstanding of intersectionality. It's not that you need to have outward intersectionality, but rather you need to have intersectionality within the cause that you're fighting for. So the singular cause that you're fighting for. And what I find with a lot of nonprofits and a lot of activist groups is that there isn't any intersectionality, and there isn't room for seeing how other projects can help, right? There's no horizontal motion. There's only, this is the one cause that we need you to care about forever and always. And this is also why we see these giant fall offs and complacency once an election is over, right? Or once there's a ceasefire deal. How many people do you still see talking about Gaza and not talking about Donald Trump and the Netanyahu visit? Which, by the way, John Fetterman, we see you too. We see you too, girl. We see you with your thumbs up next to Netanyahu. We see you, Democrats.
I was about to Fetterman, but wasn't he just praised for being a disruptor? And now these people are playing both sides.
He was literally standing with Netanyahu going like this.
Another compromised individual.
Right. So all that to say, y'all, that I think that these causes and these photo ops, these are, there was good work being done that this photo op happened during. I actually think this picture is from 2 years ago. But it was reposted today. But I think it's from 2022.
Oh wait, this picture isn't recent?
No, I think it's from 2022 when they filed the clemency request.
Well,
Which
this makes this even crazier.
yeah. So, but that said, again, like what else?
I thought we had strides. I thought this was happening right now. This is old.
That's the way I read it. That doesn't mean that that's true. Do 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 do. Let's go see. I got distracted by a beautiful picture. Uh, let's go see. It says, well, it says the petition. Okay, yeah. So in this picture, pictured in Raleigh in the conference room, all these people um, all stood to request clemency for Charles McNair. What will Stein do? This petition was filed September 12th, 2022. So I think it's from 2022, but they're talking about it today. So that's interesting, but again, it goes back to what else can you do? Like, so when I look at companies here, right, they might have a great mission themselves, and I'm kind of taking this out of context, but and putting it into opera context. But we have a ton of opera companies. The joke in Minnesota is that there's an opera company and there's a choir on literally every corner, and that is very true in the Twin Cities. Right, you're learning how to sing. You got your microphone and everything. We've got a whole remote that we're fully. Yeah, good job.
Uncle Flo approves.
Yeah. Oh, you can't sing with the microphone in your mouth though. Dr. Flo tries too.
Ah, I do.
Uncle Flo really tries to eat the microphone sometimes.
And gasping for air.
That part. But anyway, so there's all of these companies, and none of these companies are working together. It was not even until the last 3 years. No, it was before COVID. I went to a meeting of a whole bunch of the small companies, and I said, why don't you people have auditions together? Why are we opera singers having to go to 14,000 auditions? Like, why don't you guys pool some costs? Get a rad accompanist and put on the thing. And so now finally there's only 4 that do it together, but they do their auditions together as of the last 2 years, I think. Why is that not the norm? So if nothing is happening in the Charles McNair case, if there's not really a way to move forward at this point, because we are stuck in this endless political bullshit, as you all know, government both moves fast and it moves slowly. Why are we not then going horizontally and intersectionally working with other groups and other people to move other causes forward that perhaps would hold hands or walk in tandem with Charles's case?
American individualism.
Right. And so and this is what we see, right? Everybody wants to pull you into community, right? They want to pull you into their community. And I said this, I actually said it, I think first in the, when I was in the elephant graveyard, which is like any group or any community where the leader has to be the leader at all times is not really a community. That's a cult. In fact, the knitting cult lady talks about it on TikTok all the time, that one of the primary facets of cults is that they have prophets. They have prophets, or they have messiahs, or they have these things, right? So you put a person on a pedestal and you follow that person, aka Donald Trump. MAGA is a cult, y'all. It's a cult. It's a whole cult, and we're probably gonna get banned from YouTube, but it's fine. Don't worry about it, y'all. We'll be back. We're on Substack. Freedom. So anyway, that's my long-winded way of saying, if there's nothing happening in your particular cause, right, or you're meeting a wall every time you're going towards it, perhaps look to the left and look to the right and see what the people right next to you are working towards, and see how your cause can help their cause, and vice versa.
I've told them that the reason why people don't care about their causes is because the people who want to care about their causes don't feel cared for. Like, if I feel like you don't give a damn about me, I'm not going to give a damn about your cause. And we've tried our best here on Love and Action Network to give services and to provide roles and to provide support intangible meaning to people to help them grow. But they have to really be willing to see it as something of value. And we're struggling with seeing black and brown people and women and justice workers and light workers and just humans generally. We're struggling to see them as valuable and valid in the world. But maybe Tony has something that she can share about it.
If you can only be tall because somebody's on their knees, then you have a serious problem. And my feeling is white people have a very, very serious problem. And they should start thinking about what they can do about it. Take me out of it. If you can only be tall because somebody's on their knees, then you have a serious problem. And my feeling is white people have a very, very serious problem. And they should start thinking about what they can do about it. Take me out of it.
Listen, I bring things like this sometimes to let you all know that even the people that you white people look up to, even the black people that you white people are like, oh my God, they're so great. Oh my God, they're so palatable. Oh my God, Martin Luther King, hate doesn't drive out hate. Only love can do that. Y'all, they also said shit like this, okay? They also said shit like this, and they called you out on your problematic bullshit. They did. And I really... it applies to more than just race in this case. Like that very first line that Tony says here, which is like, if you can only be tall when someone else is on their knees, that is very true. That is the belief of so many people in so many aspects, right? Think about like some leads that you've met in plays that can only be tall because you've been taught to be on your knees, right? Think about corporate, right? The CEOs can only be tall because the rest of us have been taught to be worker bees on our knees, right? And so I like the end too. That's basically like, you know, that is like, y'all got to start talking about this. I was saying this in a video the other day. Like you have to stop being so scared of being politically incorrect or saying the wrong thing or speaking over a black person, because racism is your problem. Racism is white people's problem. You created it. You go with it, because most of y'all are not at the white abolitionist side of the 8 white identities. Actually, I'm not sure that I've met anyone that is. And that white identities thing, y'all, this is the thing. We've been talking around this, but like, all skin folk ain't kin folk, okay? And we know this. We know this because anti-blackness shows up in black bodies all of the time. And so we also do not see black folks on the abolitionist side. And this is the work, right, of convincing people that
They will in fact throw tomatoes and rocks at you and then hide the evidence.
Right. And they too will believe that they can only stand tall if you remain on your knees, instead of believing that we can all be tall on our feet, walking together. That is the primary belief instilled by capitalism, colonialism, white nationalism, white supremacy. It's all there. It robs us of our sense of being able to be whole and work with each other. Thank you, Piper, for the... oh, yes. The elephant. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. But anyway, your thoughts.
The backdrop of like you being like, end white nationalism. Boom.
Wow. Anyway, thoughts? Any thoughts?
Oh, this is the same interview where she talked about white people being morally bereft, and and this is the same one. She was like, "Are you any good without white nationalism? Are you any good? Do you like yourself when you see yourself in the mirror?" Like, and then that's when she goes on to say, if you have to stand on someone else to be tall, that's a problem. And I've always loved my ancestor Toni Morrison and what she brought, because she never treated our lighter brothers and sisters as if they were better than us in any way. She always saw the human condition as something that needed to be healed. And as you were talking today, I kept thinking again about the mental illness in that particular cult, in that particular community. These people are not well upstairs. Now, I'm not going to do the fear and paranoia thing and be scared of them. I'm going to treat mentally ill people who think that they could be superior to someone else based on the color of their skin. I'm going to treat them like the weird mofos they are. Because there's no way that you could just inherently be better because you align with colonizers. We're not doing that. Once again, if you are of any color and background and tradition, if you are honest, open, willing, and available, honesty first, integrity first. But if you're honest, open, willing, and available, you can come and sit at the table with us. Now, we are going to watch your ass to make sure that you are encouraging, equipping, and empowering people, and not sandbagging and stalling and trying to politically position people for your.
And reprimanding.
None of that, y'all. Stop telling me that you can get more bees with honey than shit. I'm not a fucking beekeeper.
And I don't want to be, quite frankly. I'm listen, y'all.
The suit
Side
and
note,
the
I'm
suit.
terrified of bees. I do like bees and wasps, absolutely not. I would put the poop outside in order to scare them away. Okay?
It's weird that y'all tell other people how to speak when you are whispering in corners yourself. Like, find an open throat chakra, like my ancestor Tony, who sat on national television and called people morally bereft and said, I don't think she even wrote white people in her books, which bothered them. You don't
Oh, I
see,
don't know.
you don't see a lot of white people talked about in her
Well,
books
isn't
because
that so many black authors, and then that's why white people don't read them because they can't see themselves in quote unquote those.
Tony, exactly. But Tony was the one that taught me about the white gaze, how everything in society is filtered through the prism of how they think about us, how they see us. She was the one that also said that because they say you have no language, you'll try to say that you have language. Because they say you have no education, you'll try to like present education. Because they're calling me an asshole in the community, I'm supposed to like change the way I talk to people. Like, I'm firm and direct. Stop the nonsense and just step your pussy up.
And if you don't like the way I speak, there's a door. You don't have to be around me.
There are no applications open in my life for friends. We've covered this before. We need comrades. Thank you, Poppy.
Thank you, Poppy.
I heard it in Minnesota.
It did ding.
On my desk too. That's amazing. Thank you, my love. We don't. Miss Congeniality is not an award that Tara and I win. Like, the people who know us would call us congenial, on some level,
I,
but
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like saying how a lot of my beliefs are radical, and she was like, "I don't think you're radical," and I was like, "Oh, you don't know me very well."
precisely.
Like,
Then
okay, girl.
then then you're not deep enough into the content, or you're not listening to me talk, because people who listen to me talk after, and you can feel the shift. I don't know about you, but with me, I can feel the shift in people when we're turning that corner of them realizing that I'm a real motherfucker. It's always like, oh my god, I thought he was one kind of person, but he's the type of person that we are afraid of when we watch TV.
Well, I think and we'll get to this a little bit later, but I think a lot of people think artists are docile. Um, And that is purposeful. They've put us in the situation to be starving artists because we do not value the arts. And so because we are docile, or quote unquote should be docile, they think that the way to control us is by offering us low sums of money, which keeps us poor, which then keeps us more docile. When the reality is, and this is what I seek to heal, is that all artists should lift their voice. Hey, instrumentalists, that y'all think you don't have a voice because you play an instrument, GTFO, okay? GTFOH. I don't know what that was. We're okay. I think we just decided to stumble. Oh, this one. You got to make it big though, because that's tiny. It says, oh, sorry, baby. That was my fault. I think far too many of us are trying to take up positions of activism. We, number one, don't know how to do, or two, don't have the ability to sustain. What's up, babes? I saw Reese. You sat right.
So instead of trying to run something, why not support the people already doing this work? Send known organizers money, like y'all do with me. Thank you so much. Keep it coming. Volunteer a skill you have to help. Spread the news about events, which is something that they have a hard time doing up in here. Donate resources like event space. There's so many parts in a movement that you can play. Please be honest about the part you can sustain. Is your mic open?
I think I'm back. Hello? Am I back?
Habba Babba.
Habba Babba? Am I being heard by the world?
I just took over because you had
No, that was great.
a person who was acting out on aisle 12.
Yes, which was mommy's fault because mommy's foot was in the child's head as the child tried to stand up. You know, because clearly I know exactly where you're going to stand up. So anyway, I don't really care about the little paragraph in the middle, but I do care about what it says first and what it says last, which is I need y'all to be honest about what you can keep up with. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, people will look down on me if I'm not able to keep up with it all, or if I'm not able to go do daily action, or I'm not like, and the truth is, like, I would rather you be honest with me and say that you can attend once a month than promise me daily and then not fucking show up. That's
the issue though, Praolo. The issue, Praolo, is that people in their heart of hearts actually have looked themselves in the mirror brushing their teeth every day and convinced themselves that they are daily activist kinds of people when they are not. I don't know what radical honesty has been one of the greatest gifts that my community has given to me, because when I fart, they go, "What's that smell, Flo?" And that is that's spiritually, physically, emotionally, in my mood. I'm a very moody person, so sometimes it's just stinchy. And they go, "What's the stench?" We've stopped pretending like there's no stench. And, like some of y'all, I'm not trying to even be rude as I'm told I am, which I don't believe about myself. You're not who you say you are. If you think that you are a daily activist and you haven't sent an email today or text someone for a cause to activate love and freedom and justice, you're not a daily activist, girl. If you have not given me the ad to attract the people in the city.
If you have not clicked repost on a mutual aid thing, right? Sometimes I don't even watch them, y'all. Like, I got to be 100% honest with you. I don't get the time. I don't get the time to watch all of the mutual aid posts. But you know what I do? I see, I do. I see that mutual aid is across the top, and I just go like, save, repost. Like, save, repost. And it takes me like 10 seconds. You know what I mean? And then I move on with my day.
$3.99.
Like, it is not hard to activate. And I like, and it's not hard to disrupt. And it doesn't have to be big, sweeping, overwhelming action. It can be going to 5calls.org and making those calls. It can be going to lovedandlovable.bio.link and clicking email for Charles McNair, which I still need to do today, which I will do when I get off. But I just really need y'all to know that even if you don't have money, or even if it's only $1, or even if you don't have space, but maybe you have an in with somebody on the board of that space, you have power. And I think a lot of times people are approaching activism in a disempowered sense, or like waiting to be called out or waiting to be found out. As Dr. Flo just said, just be who you say you are. If you say that you're going to do something once a month, then do that thing once a month and do it real damn good. If you say that you're going to be there daily, be there daily. If you say that you're going to be there once a week, be there once a week. If you say that you're going to repost mutual aid, repost mutual aid. And this goes back to what we were talking a couple weeks ago. I think we were talking about commitment, right? And this is one of those things that's very hard for people. People do not like commitment because they do not like to be held accountable for the commitment that they made. And it's as simple as an oops, ouch, right? Ouch, oops. I said it backwards, right? It's like, okay, oopsie, I missed my deadline. Like the other night, I said to myself, it was like 12:14, and I was like, girl, you did not post a droplets yesterday. And that's a personal activism project for me, right? And I was like, I could go to bed, I could go to bed, I could go to bed, I could go to bed. And instead, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to post it because that's a commitment to me. Same thing last night. I said, I do not have the energy. I have a migraine. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do my work. But I owe the people a droplets. So I took a little reel that I had already posted and put it on droplets. You know, I told people that I would give them 90 seconds a day. So they're getting 90 seconds a day. I can sustain that, right? And so I really need y'all to know that it can be that simple. It can be that simple, and it can be that easy. And there are so many ways to activate, and so many ways to help the causes, and so many ways to be intersectional. But y'all got to be who you say you are. Y'all got to be honest about the level of commitment that you can make. It is okay to be like, and I tell people this sometimes too. Like they come to me and they're like, Tara, this XYZ is going on and da 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 da, and I could really use your help. And it's like, yo, girl, I don't have the spoons for that right now. But you know what I can do is I can give $10 over here, or you can send it to me and I will repost it on my feed. Right? If that's the way that I can help in that moment, that's the way that I can help in that moment. But also activists, I'm going to call you out too, real quick, because this post is clear about what most places need. But some of y'all get up here and you say that you need things, literally quotes, I need things, but you never tell us what you need. Or you never tell us what's going to be most helpful. And that tells me that you don't have a strategic plan to get to where you want to go. That tells me that you don't have a strategic plan to get to where your end goal is. And I'm going to need you to figure that out before you start mouthing off on social media. And before you start trying to plan things. That's how we get into trouble. That's why people lose faith in movements. Because we are unorganized. There is a time to listen and there is a time to speak. Sometimes it's at the same time. Sometimes it's not. I yield. Ciao.
Ooh, spicy mustard.
Spicy mustard. Sorry, y'all.
Spicy mustard. Once again, so instead of trying to run something, why not support people already doing this work? Send known organizers money. Volunteer a skill you have to help. Spread the news about events or donate resources like event spaces. Yes, and Tara's adding an extra one. Be clear about your desire and intended goal. People really want to know what you want. And if you cannot clearly tell them in an elevator pitch, 2 to 3 sentences what you want so that they can make a qualified decision whether or not they want to help you, people are going to kind of get lost in your magic. All right, next one, Tara.
This is one from me, I believe. It says, y'all want artists and musicians to pass every litmus test. Commodify our art, but only if we ain't too radical. Up until now. This is another one of those posts that is both for the artists and for the people watching the artists. And this was in response to someone, they were talking about the artist pay gap and like artist pay in general, and like trying to say it was a new conversation that was being held by Doechii at the Grammys, and it's just not a new conversation. It's been a conversation. But in my response to this person, to which I was saying, like, the problem is that the arts are ingrained in capitalism, right? And we are not going to be able to address pay for artists until we address the fact that like the arts can't exist in capitalism in a way that is sustainable, because capitalism is unsustainable, right? This is the dichotomy that we're dealing with. But in my response, I started typing and I was like, okay, but the problem actually is that we're not valuing the artist, we only value the art. And most people want to commodify the art while not caring about the artist. They will buy your album, but they won't send you $50 to help you eat. They want you to put your music on Spotify, but without realizing that Spotify pays you pennies, right? They want you to get an agent, but they don't realize that the agent takes all of your agency. They want you to go into spaces already set up, but they don't realize that those art spaces oftentimes have clauses that say how they own your art. They want you to be in the shows, but they don't realize how abusive the shows are in rehearsal. To the other post that I reposted, and to this person, I'm gonna need you to shut your mouth on the internet, because that person has some crazy ass takes. Somebody said that musician, like something like, rehearsals are not the place to practice. Girl, look up the definition of rehearsal. Girl, absolutely not.
I
Don't be that
saw
person.
this. I
Don't be
saw
that person.
this. I saw this.
That person and I are gonna go at it.
Yeah, and
Instantly.
usually these are the people who are kind of interesting. I'll use that word, interesting, in their musicality. So the way that they decide that they want to put you on your knees is by doing the off book thing. I've shown up to rehearsals with these people who are like, "You're not off book yet." I'm like, "It's day one of rehearsal. I'm
A
not."
rehearsal is a rehearsal. That's what it's a practice, girl.
But
Um,
that's how they put you on your knees, by trying to be better
that
than you on day one of
right. And
rehearsal.
that's also me a radical, to go back to this post. Like, I don't require my students to practice, y'all. I don't require it, because you're coming to lesson and that can be practice time if that's what you need. If you need feedback during your lesson time and your parents can't give it to you because they ain't trained musicians, cool. Come to practice. Come to rehearsal, You are doing such a beautiful job singing, but you did something to the TV that I'm not sure I can fix. But that's okay. We'll figure it out later. So I just there are two things there. Like, I need us to start caring about the people behind the screen, and I need us to start caring about the artists, because a lot of times people say a lot of stuff online, but they wouldn't say it to your face. Right? They wouldn't say it to you in the grocery store. And so I need y'all to realize that just because an artist is on social media and posting their art to social media, they still need the help that they're asking for. And back to what we were talking about before in terms of activists, you artists need to be clear about what you want too, about what you need. Is it followers? Great. Is it money? Great. Is it education? Great. But you got to be clear about what you need. If it's all three, great, right? But it really is, it's about the clarity. And I see the cancel culture. This is going to get back into cancel culture, but I see it happen where, like, oh, so-and-so artist voted for Biden, so I'm never talking to them again, or I'm never supporting them again. Oh, they didn't talk about Gaza, so I'm never talking.
Oh, such and such artist drew a
Right.
picture of Trump. They
Right.
don't deserve any of
Oh,
my
so-and-so
support for the
artist went to
next 10 years.
Starbucks, so I can't support them anymore.
You did send me you sent me
I
your coffee
did.
that day,
I
though.
did. And
You
today I
did.
went to
You did.
Dunkin', which was horrendous, by the way. The coffee was bad. The hash browns, the loaded.
Hey, look, y'all drop us a message in the in the comment section on YouTube, Facebook, or on Spotify or Apple Music. Or are y'all team Dunkin' or team
Or team small
Starbucks out here?
coffee
Team
shop.
Dunkin'.
Because if you ask me for real, like if small coffee shops were more conveniently located to me, that would be my place. That'd be my place. But over here, I only got Dunkin' and Starbucks, and mm, um, yeah,
Dunkin' can be messy. Like the what Starbucks is always going to give you a premium experience. They're also going to charge you $10,000 for a cup. But at Dunkin', depending on how they feel that day, you could get like
the
a
Dunkin'
coffee
was five
thrown off
dollars
the
and 39
ceiling.
cents. My fancy pantsy Starbucks drink is $5.98, so it's not that different. Just saying.
And it sounds like they threw your what did you order today?
I
It sounds like
tried
they
to
threw it
get
off the
like
ceiling
a
again. Like
a
don't
basic mocha, like a it was nasty, y'all. It was not good. It tasted like chalk. It was tasted like chalk. Um, it was not good. Um, yeah. So we don't need to pass your litmus tests to deserve to be cared for. That's all. Continue.
Yeah, I mean, like I've said, if you've got a list of standards and metrics for me to meet in order to be part of your community, trust me, I've got standards as well. That's what started this whole madness here in this town is that someone, a local politician and community leader, reached out to ask me for help to phone bank last November. And I said, yo, I would love to help you in your causes. However, I have needs too. And I don't understand why you don't want to hear my needs as a politician and community advocate. And this is an individual that we're still trying to find and connect with and understand like what is your issue? What is your rub that you only want to help some kind of people in coalition building and not in others? Once again, we're not going to necessarily like each other in everything that we do in order to build. However, like we're going to have to get along in order for collective liberation. And unfortunately, I've told people this multiple times this week. This happens in my family, this happens in my marriage, this happens in my life. Where people get stuck in feelings when they need to return to the facts. And Tara and I talked off camera earlier today about all the therapy we went through for each other and also for the world. And a lot of what you learn in therapy is what is feelings and what is factual, what is real and what is a cognitive distortion. And there's a lot of cognitive distortions and fake shit going on in coalition building, and we cannot trust each other in the front lines if we don't believe in one another. Or I don't know if I said that in the right order, but if we don't believe in each other, we can't trust. If we don't trust each other, then we can't believe. And then we end up with all of our knives or weapons drawn with nothing really happening for the people who are, we're the privileged ones. We're privileged enough to have the time to fight each other about where we're going. I'll say it one more time for the people in the back. Those of us who have our phones as leaders and executive directors of this, that, those of us who run these nonprofits and mutual aid support networks, we're privileged enough to fight each other every day on the phone about the things that we want. The people who are starving in Davidson County, the people who don't believe in church anymore here, the artists who want to unalive themselves tonight, they need more than you don't like me. I don't care that you don't like me. Let's do anything truly for our youth, if that's true. But it's almost like, and that's the name of one of their orgs, Tara, anything for our youth. But I'm like, I don't see y'all doing everything. And when people do say, yo, you could be better in this way, block. What issues are you finding on the ground where you are as it relates to coalition building and getting people in the room and in the space and actually being about what
Yeah,
they
I
say
mean,
they're about?
what you first said jogged something that like Christiana Smith talks about collective imagination, and I think in our collective imagination, something that is truly missing is that everyone's needs can be met. I think that's a fundamental belief that we're missing. And maybe we're not missing it, but we often believe that there's a hierarchy to which needs get met first, or which needs take precedence, right? You
precedence
know,
over the
and so
others.
it's not that it's disabled needs above black needs or black needs above disabled needs, but rather that there are enough resources and are enough people and are enough time that everyone's to be met in an ideal world, right? In the world that we imagine. And if we can't come together on that one simple belief, then we have no business building coalitions. We have no business building coalitions. If we can't come together and say that there is enough food on this earth to feed every single mouth, then we have no business being in coalition with each other, because those are fundamental beliefs.
And you just taught me something, or you teach me things all the time. So maybe you taught it or retaught it. You reminded me that all of this is based on some level in scarcity thinking and the idea that there's not enough time, talent, and treasure to go around for
But,
all of us at the table. I I had not
but you pieced
remembered
it,
that
you
until you
jogged it in my
said
mind by what you said at the beginning, because that is truly the end of it all, right? That it's the beginning and the end. Like when I start to try to coalition build here, I often yell and scream about, privately to Dr. Flo, often about how people just literally want to come sit and complain to me about how they can't get in the white people spaces. And I've thought about this a lot. I'm like, is it my white skin that gets me into the space? No. Do you know what gets me into the spaces of the white people, y'all? It is because I have my shit together. It is because I practice. It is because I'm good. It is because I have a written strategic plan. It is because I walk the talk and I send the goddamn emails to the people. Right, as Stacy was talking about on Thursday with her pod, she was telling us, and I told Dr. Flo this earlier, but she was telling us about her children's book, and her children's book is about little Stacy solving a problem, and little Stacy finds a problem, and little Stacy goes to the person in charge and says, "This is a problem," and the person in charge says, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know," and the person in charge helps her. And sure, that's not the scenario that always happens, but that's where we can start, right? And so I really struggle with, and my question back to these people that want to be in the white people spaces, that want to have the recognition, that want to have the Tonys and the Grammys, like our beloved Black Joy, Karen Slack. I love her. She's an opera singer. She's amazing. Congrats on your Grammy, girl. I love you. I love you. Congrats on your Grammy. But I want to know why you want to be in those spaces. This is what we were talking about this afternoon too, is like, why are those the only spaces that you want to be in? Why couldn't it be that you have to build your own? Or why couldn't it be both simultaneously? Like for me, I work with Minnesota Opera. I work with one of the whitest organizations in town. But you know what? I only work with them on Black projects while simultaneously producing albums of Black music. Right? Again, walking the talk, not just talking it. And that isn't to say that everybody has to follow the same pathway, but it is to say that if that is your goal, ask yourself why. Why is that your goal? Who told you that it should be your goal? What made you think that? What education did you go through to make you think that the goal was to be in the white man's room or the people with power's room? Why do I have to go in that room in order to be powerful when I am whole and powerful on the outside by myself? And again, that doesn't mean that I can't work with you, person out there, to get your needs met at the same time, because that is coalition. Coalition is not leader helping a whole bunch of people. This is for the coaches out there that think y'all are doing something with your community building. This is for you, okay? It's not a leader teaching a whole bunch of people things and those people becoming you. That's not what it is. It's coming down to the level of the people that you want to help and standing alongside them, tall and proud and whole and individual with your individual needs, and going intersectionally, horizontally, and getting everyone's needs met at the same time. Because fundamentally, there is enough to go around. The people that made you believe that there's not, why did they tell you that?
they had their reasons. They had their reasons. They had their reasons. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Tara. That brings us to the reasons we're looking for
The
within Love and Truth
reason,
Project.
the reason. Listen, y'all. I saw some white person up on the internet be like, "Why was Will Smith at the Grammys? They be acting like he didn't do violence." I was like, that man deserved it. That man deserved the open slap, child. Listen,
Listen, they need to keep the guns out of the schools first. Okay? There is a list of things that are ahead of Will Smith's slap. And we're looking for those things in Love and Truth Project. We're starting in Lexington, North Carolina, because that's where I'm stuck right now. Stuck. Not really stuck. Weird circumstances and planetary systems in orbit have made for me, of all people, to be in North Carolina, of all places. And I'm a bloom where I'm planted kind of girly. And I've got a national and international team of people who are watching over the project. We're looking for the lovers in Lexington, North Carolina, if you're out there. And we're also looking for the truth tellers and the people who want to make a radical difference and shift and change in the environment that we're standing in. Now, you may not be in Lexington, North Carolina. You may be in Minnesota like Tara, Pennsylvania like Angie. You could be in Spain like Chipper. You could be all over the planet kind of keeping tabs on the project. However, it's important that wherever you are, that today you're seeking love in your life. And you're seeking the lovers in your community that are turned on and passionate about the things that you want to be turned on and passionate about. And in the pursuit of love, you're always going to need to ask for the truth, because your love is never going to feel quite grounded and real unless it's actually high integrity. And so we are just daily documenting the people that we meet in this community. I've been here for 2 years trying it the honey route. And that's the love route. They say you can get more bees with honey than vinegar. They tell me in back channels. And so the honey part is Dr. Flo and Tara Olo Studio and Love and Action Network and Poppy Water asking for time, talent, and treasure in the ways that you all would like. However, there is a vinegar part. It is the bitter truth that people are being ignored here. They're being starved out. They're being bullied by their leaders, black and white. And that's the truth part. So if you want Dr. Flo to bring healing to the community, and all people don't want this, but a lot of people do, you're going to get the honey love and the vinegar of truth in order to really make it so that, as Tara was saying, everyone from the perceived bottom to the top, or left to right, can actually feel happy, healthy, and free today. I think everyone in Davidson County, including the people who think I'm mad at them, I'm not mad at you, girl. I want results. I want the results of your time, talent, and treasure. Everybody that y'all think that I've thrown my hands up in the air that I don't want to talk to, I'm still waiting for my call back. I'm still waiting for my interview. I'm still waiting for my Proust questionnaire. I want to know who you are in the same ways you want to know who I am. And we're going to get through it every day in Love and Truth Network. And unfortunately, or fortunately, for people who can believe or not believe, it's going to end up with me looking like this. And this is my joy included. There's no way that you all are going to get all of your rocks off and not include me being able to perform my joy in front of international multi-generational choir. That's where I'm going. I'm clear. It's documented. I'm not going when you ask me who I am and what I'm about. I send you 22-page proposals, and we're going to be including these things in the Love and Truth Project. The only people that need to be afraid or have cages rattled about what we're doing here are people who are not being who they say they are, people who are not standing up for love and truth. Tara is attached to this project many miles away, over 900. What say you about the discoveries in this community and how
I
we're
mean, here's the
working to
thing,
heal
y'all.
it?
And I talk about this too with like, you know, if race is a construct, then we can't just say that the answer is to replace current structures with like current people with black people. Like that it's not going to work. I love black people. Okay, listen, I love black people. I think that we do it better in every single way. However,
I
however,
is a black person.
however,
I is.
yeah, don't
Don't
send us
send
no
us no
mail.
mail
Don't
though,
be
y'all,
like,
because I'm saying
don't be doing that.
I is.
Right.
You are,
But
we
I
is.
think that a lot of people call for transparency. A lot of people are like, "Oh, the government would be so much better if there was if there was more transparency, if there was more transparency." And I will tell you one thing, y'all. Donald Trump, people rag on it, but under his administrations and regimes, they are leaky faucets, which means we get a lot of information. Now, that is by design. The chaos is the point. However, we get a lot more information than we did from the Biden White House or the Obama White House. We're still discovering things about the Obama White House and the Clinton White House and the Bush White House. But we can say a lot of things about the Trump White House, right? So a lot of y'all call for transparency when we're talking about national politics. A lot of y'all call for transparency when we're talking about Black Lives Matter and we're talking about Black nonprofits. A lot of y'all call for transparency about where the foreign aid is going. A lot of y'all call for transparency when it comes to what's happening with illegal immigrants. But then when you're asked for transparency, when you are asked for truth, when you are asked to be open,
When you're asked to come on record, including your screenshots.
then you run, then you hide. And I don't think that transparency is the problem here. I frankly think we need a lot more directories of people. I think we need mappings of how people are interconnected in every town, right? Like, I want to know which voice teacher, like when students come in, I ask them, what voice teachers have you been with in the past? And that is both so that I can meet those voice teachers, but it's also to know what style that they've been under if I happen to know the people, right? And I think that's so important because it informs our history, it informs our future, and it informs our present. And so the truth, right? There is an element of truth in every lie, and there is an element of truth in every story, whether it is the whole truth or whether it is just a personal truth. And I don't think it's something to fear, right? Because if especially if it's the truth that you're telling, then why are you fearing your own truth? That means you got some work to do on the inner, right? And I think that it's protection for the people coming up. And if one of the goals of Love and Action Network, and Dr. Flo personally, I know this, and Poppy Wada too, is to heal 10 generations forward, then these people need to know who they're dealing with, right? They need to know exactly who they're asking for help from. And I don't always feel that we know that, right? When I think about the people that at some of these companies that are, owned by these people in my town, I don't know a ton about those owners, and that's why I don't work for them. And that's why people perceive me as a very dangerous individual to those companies, because they can't hold me and I can mouth off with whatever I want. Right? But y'all don't need to fear transparency. You just need to tell me about yourself. And so I don't think that there's a problem with keeping a directory. I don't think there's a problem with keeping a record of this person said that they were going to do this and they did not. Or I asked this person for this and they said no. There's no is a complete sentence. Y'all, yes is a complete sentence, and both answers are fine. But you got to be who you say you are. And if you're not, then people should know about it.
High integrity. High integrity. If no is the answer, stand 10 toes down on your no. So we can say, because see, what's happening in this community as it relates to Love and Truth Project is that people are saying, oh, that sounds great, Dr. Flo. You should go to this person. Well, that person in their energy for 2 years has been a no to me. Now I need it to be a clear no so I can move on. Because there are people who want to be a yes to me. There are people who want to
And
be a
with a
yes to you.
directory, and a living directory, people can always change their mind. I mean, this is the other thing, folks. Like, you can be a MAGA until today. Okay, you can be a maggot until today, and you can change your mind.
That sounded like an altar call. Like have you given your life to the Lord
Right,
after
right.
MAGA?
Have you become blue mega?
Have
You vote blue no matter who crowd. Are you a leftist?
you
Are
ooh,
you, did
ooh,
you,
ooh,
uh-oh.
ooh.
So do you support genocide today or
Blue
no?
MAGA.
Anyway, um, y'all, just because you say no doesn't mean that it's always a no. Maybe it's like I don't have the access to the event space. Cool. And in 2 years you do, come back, you know?
You know what I think it is though, Tara? I really think it is that people we saw this happen with receipts in one of our bridge conversations last week or week before last. People get really, really mad inside when I ask them what they have to offer and their answer's no. They build, like we talked about earlier in the pod, they build themselves up all day, beating their chest all week and all month that they're good people. And when I ask them 10 toes down, what do you have to offer to me today? They say, I don't have nothing. I don't have no rates. I'm not doing anything. That makes them feel bad, but that ain't got shit to
Right.
do with
Be honest and
me.
upfront. You know who you are. And if you need help figuring out what your intro is and what you have to offer, we are happy to help you with that. For reals. Like that is what one of my former maybe coming back things was all about. Nail Your Intro was all about that.
Is there a baby paw
Yes.
on my set?
Yes. It's
Okay.
there was typing happening and now the computer started going down.
Yeah. See, this is why like the community thinks that if the community thinks I'm an asshole, just wait till they get a clip of. Is there a baby paw on the microphone
Yes,
on the
and
set?
also simultaneously changing my profile picture on my TV.
She's in the army now. If you'd like to adopt a black baby or a black artist from Tara Praolo Studio, you can go to our website, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link. I'm squinting for this Friday. It's on our platform. We'll promote a black artist. If you don't have someone new, we'll roll back through the old artists because we know that y'all are out here still needing love and support. We'll provide donation links and what they most need in the moment. If you cannot give monetarily, consider free options like sharing, liking, commenting, saving, nominating an artist, and promoting them on your platforms. Tara, talk to us a bit about this goal that you got here of $200 a
Yes, so
month
we
for
are
your
set for
kids.
February. So actually, the family is coming back on Monday. For March, we're about $50 below, which I'll be posting about. But my intention is also to just keep this going so that there's a pool of money just in case it happens to somebody else. So if you feel like donating, there is a link in my bio, tarapriolo.com/links. Which I need to explore the bio site. That's what that just made me think of. I need to do so many things. I need to get my logo from Poppy Wada. Um, Anyway, y'all, I need $50 for March. For March. That's the short end of that.
Too long, don't read. $50 for March to keep these kids in music lessons. They deserve it. People donated to my causes as a child. Poppy Water and I throw money at this situation as well, and will continue to do so. You said
For
50 bucks you
March.
need
Yep.
still for
February we're set.
March.
March we need 50.
I'm sending you 20 for my birthday weekend, so now you only
Great.
need 30.
How about them
How
apples?
about that? Cash app it to you right now because someone cash apped me for my birthday. It was money that I didn't even know I had. So this is very performative, by the way, you guys. But I want to show that you're always, and this is also money that Tara sent to me earlier this morning. So we're just we're circulating it back through. But for it's already says for the musical kids futures. It makes me want to cry from Poppy and me. And it's just a symbol, y'all. Tara sent me money for my birthday this morning. I'm sending it right back to her. Um, and she's her, so she'll figure out a way to like probably nail me with it again, probably in the body camera shit that we've been looking into today to keep freedom alive. As I work to bring to this town and to the world Dr. Full and the Love Experience Musical Theater Workshop, if you want to be part of something bigger than yourself and you want to unite talents and just come together daily, weekly, monthly for hope and to use the power of love through music and theater and art, we would love to hear from you. Auditions are currently open. Tara is an incredible ear and artist. She will be listening to your audition, so do not send any mess. We listen, but we don't judge always. And if you'd like to get more powerful in your approach to releasing your capital V voice, as Tara and I call these things separately and also collectively. If you want to strengthen your voice in Tara Olo Studio, please look her up. She's always giving droplets of hope for Black History Month and also many ideas that you've heard her share today. She's an amazing force. I met Tara. Some of y'all gonna wonder, like, how are we in cahoots? I met Tara many years ago on a social audio app called Clubhouse in the middle of the night. And around 10 p.m. Eastern, she set my voice free. It sounds like something that you hear at like a love revival, where 3 years ago she touched me. Harabokosha. And she really allowed me to release my voice in the world creatively, musically, and also we've been working together through masterminds and as managing operation partners of this network for 3 years plus to help people say the things that are uncomfortable. What's crazy is that Tara's intro, and she can teach you how to nail your intro. Her intro has always said that she says the uncomfortable ish that nobody wants to say. What we did not know is that over the last 3 years of our lives that we would become people held to that same standard. Tara and I talked about it earlier off film. We're now the people that we always
Oh
wanted to
no.
be.
Oh no. It's the birthday sobs, y'all. It's the
There,
birthday
there,
sobs.
there is, let Uncle have it. There is something so powerful when a human believes in you enough to say, you know what, Tara, you say what you got to say in this life, girl. I don't care if they like you or not. I don't care if they want to hear it or not. I don't care if they think you qualified or not. You got to say what you got to say with your big capital V voice. And Tara encourages that in me, and I encourage that in her every day. And so, if you want to hang out with people who see joy as the revolution, and people who want to encourage, you better duck. And people who want to encourage you to use your voice for good in the world and to not leave this planet with the juice of your life still inside, reach out to us or somebody who wants to love y'all for real, and wants to tell you the truth about how awesome and capable you are. We don't think we're better than anybody. We're just showing up on a Friday to do the work. And the ancestors are turning off the light because Dr. Flo is long winded. Tara and Ryan, what you got to
I
say in
got it
your
back.
closing
I
thoughts?
got it back.
Oh,
Ah,
you want the
the
tears?
tissues. The
Uh,
tissues. Which
tissue.
are no Angie, do you see what he's blowing his nose on?
Don't do that to Angie because Angie will
She
have
will.
a 12 pack of
She also sending you something else, but
Kleenex at this
I've
house.
seen that picture. Listen,
See, this is why birthdays give me anxiety because people start being like Dr. Flo. Usually, all the rest of the year, Christmas and birthdays, they start acting like Dr.
oh,
Flo.
it went off again.
Poppy Water is back doing the same thing. So, like, for the next 24 hours, I'm in a state of terror.
You know,
Angie
the
says,
only
oh my
thing
God.
that, not the only thing, but one of the things that I am most grateful for is that people reach out to me to ask what to get Dr. Flo or like collaborate on what you might want or what would be the better present. And so I just like I really enjoy that. I really do. Um
It's been happening for
years.
years because I don't necessarily, I say a lot professionally, you guys, You guys, I say a lot professionally, but I'm very specific about the things that I really, really like. And people like Angie and Tara and Poppy, and also in concert with one another, they really know like the things that's really going to make my tail wag. And they spoil me on my birthday and every other day that ends with day. And so tomorrow I'm turning
Woohoo!
41. I'm officially in my 40s because Tara would not let me have it for the last year. She was like, "You're old man, but you're not that old." So tomorrow I turn 41, and I'm grateful for strength. I'm grateful for courage, and I'm grateful for wisdom. And I'm grateful for being wise enough to watch my ridiculous friends turn on and off that light on camera. But I'm
It's I think it's dead, y'all, but
this is why I cry and laugh all the time.
this
Every
is
day
why
I cry and
I love
laugh.
you. You love
Because
me.
ah, ah,
Mm,
what are your closing thoughts as I cry
What's my
about being
closing thoughts? I love
41?
you. Happy birthday weekend. Happy Super Bowl. Y'all know we are not rooting for these Eagles. Okay, I had a conversation with a student about it last night. The Eagles is not winning. And all y'all that are like,
We're not rooting for y'all because for all the shit talk y'all talk about me
y'all are
being rude and
mean.
obnoxious and annoying, y'all are really mean and
Y'all are mean.
obnoxious and annoying. So I'm not rooting for the Eagles because y'all got so much shit to talk. And I love Saquon and his fucking quads and his fucking
And
glutes
his
and his
biceps,
fucking
child.
abs.
Oh
All
my God.
and his biceps. We do. I will be watching it for all these things, but I cannot root for
Mean people.
mean
Yeah.
people.
Um,
Y'all can set cars
yeah,
on fire over
you
there.
can. And not in whatever town they're in. I think they're in LA. Are they in LA or Vegas? New Orleans. They're in New Orleans.
I don't know, but I know Tubi has it, which
They're in New
means
Orleans.
that
Also, I hear that Trump is coming. But anyway, so that'll ruin the Super Bowl for all of us. But it's fine. Um,
not ruined. I mean, if my day got ruined every time a white guy I didn't want to see walked to the room, girl,
well,
where
at
would I
least we'll
have
get to
my
see
joy?
Taylor Swift too. You know?
Once again, if my day got ruined every time an off
But
pitch
we gon'
white lady walked into the
listen, we gonna
room,
have
I
some
mean,
fun. Maybe we even go live on Restream and we be here together and make Super Bowl dinner. Otherwise, we will be over in the Discord. Uh, y'all just remember that this earth has everything that we need. This and relationships are the most renewable resource. Christiana Smith says that. And I need y'all to know that today. That relationships are the most renewable resource and they're the most abundant resource. There's always a new relationship to be made. And that relationship might get you what you need. And you can walk in tandem with those people to get what everyone needs.
and there's always a relationship that can be
Yes.
restored. We talk about this a lot. Tara and I, we had a bitter separation like a married couple would, and then it came back into harmony because we chose love over the bullshit. So if you're out there today and you're wanting to choose love over the bullshit with people like us or someone in your life, if you feel safe enough to do so, just know that that's always available too. We are here to encourage, equip, and empower. And we, yeah,
Yeah. Continue to be anti racist. Be safe. Wear a mask. Make good trouble. Do good work. I love y'all hardcore. You are loved and lovable, and ain't nobody can change that. Joy is our revolution. Step into it and belong to it. I'll see you tomorrow. Dr. Flo will probably see you on a live stream tomorrow, and we'll definitely see you on Sunday. Happy birthday, Dr. Flo. Happy Super Bowl, everybody else. And Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.